All right, guys. The next step, we were just taping the nose on when we ran out of memory. And so I flipped the plane over while we were waiting. And I was basically getting ready to do some surgery to reattach the ESC wires. And that's going to be fun, minus the fun and plus the humongous pain in the butt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, if this comes out, that'd be great. I don't know if I'm going to have enough reach with the cables as they are. Doesn't look like I'm going to have enough reach, so I'm just going to leave it plugged in. It's not that big a deal. Can you see if you can get a view over this shoulder? Okay, so what I want to do is I want to try to get these 3 wires. I can't have that in front of my face.
I know. Hard to see.
Can you hold that tail? Can you do that?
Like that?
I need to rotate a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you guys can see those 3 wires. And then you can see back here, there's wires from the motor. And they made up close to where they are. But FMS, in an act of a gesture of kindness, move your body for a second. I can't spin it. Dang it. They taped over the top of the ESC leads. Okay, so I'm going to try to rotate this attachment adapter thingy, which having a bent rod like that is just super awkward. See how you can't really control what direction it's at. Oh, that's nice. I don't like that aspect of the design. Let's try to put this in here a little further. Okay. See, I'm just trying to get over the top of that. Oh, for God's sake, it's such pain.
Okay.
Just like that. That's fine. Okay, so we're good now. We're good now. So now we can get a better view of this. Remember the huge pain in the ass? That's pretty much what we're dealing with. All right, guys. Right here. Oh, so the other thing too I was noticing is I got a little bit of moisture still on this connector. It's not such a huge deal to have a little bit of moisture, but you don't want to have it on any of your conductive materials that would possibly corrode. That would be not good. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. And of course that's held a little bit of moisture, but that's Velcro. It's not going to really hurt anything too bad. In fact, I'm probably going to try to squeeze some of that water out. See, it's just wet because it's the soft part of the Velcro. Okay. So pulling this strip out means it's never going to go back in. Let's just agree that that's what's going to happen. And I honestly can't say that I need the Velcro strip, but I want to try and keep it. And I see the motor leads here. There's 2 of them. There's a third one that's kind of wandered over by the other plug. So why don't I get those together? These are forceps, guys. Forceps are a very invaluable tool when you're working on RC planes, especially smaller ones. I know I'm probably getting to a position here, hon, where you're not going to have an easy time getting a view. I can't really do a whole lot about it. I'm sorry. So now my next step is going to be to try to grab one of these, which I don't know how I'm going to do this, but this tape, like, I don't know what this tape is supposed to do. It's taped around, like, what was that doing? Absolutely nothing is what it was doing. It was getting in the way. Okay, so now I can take my second pair of forceps and hold the yellow back behind, and then this is where it comes in handy having a second set of hands, or maybe even a third or fourth or fifth. It may be braced enough that I don't have to do anything to it. So now I have to grab back here in front of the wood and actually line it up. Can you get a shot from over my right shoulder maybe?
I can try.
Because it's super awkwardly tight. You see what I'm doing? I'm just holding this No, over my right shoulder. Like over my right shoulder. Okay, you see what I'm doing, guys?
No.
You can't see in there?
No.
Put it right next to my ear.
You can't see.
You see how I'm lining that up, guys? I'm holding it back here and manipulating it in. Once it's started, that's where it gets ultra frustrating, because then you have to somehow hold it against the wall to get that started. Once it's started, you can probably reposition your forceps like I've done there. Then you can grab your second set of forceps. Even just depressing it against the wall is fine. Oh, jeez. Well, that didn't work as easy as I was hoping, but I did get it in there. All 3 wires. I ended up taking a Q-tip and using the Q-tip to brace the wire, and I took the bent tip forceps and I used the bent end to hold on to the wire here, and then I was able to grab it right at the tip and I was able to pivot the wire in. It was a pain in the butt. My helper had to tend to some family matters. So at any rate, that's where we are right now. So the next step is going to be to get this glued in. So I'm going to reposition everything. I might go ahead and plug it in while we've got this all accessible, which is a little bit scary because we do have some moisture in different places. I've tried to just, you know, do my due diligence to keep water off of the actual receiver in there, but you never really 100% know for sure if the water got down in there. So I don't suspect there's going to be a problem, but I just want to test the direction of the motor. So we'll pause it and do that real quick for you. All right, guys, so everything is working on this plane. It was when we took it home. So now that we've done this, you can see it's working. Problem is, it's blowing forward, so I got to redo 2 of these leads. What a pain in the butt! So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll come right back to you. All right, guys. So I was just going to show you the way I was able to do it. It was a lot easier this time. I switched the, not that it matters which one I switched, but I held and braced this one with this pair that way, and then I was able to rotate and pivot this way. And then with the other hand, of course I'm filming myself now, so I held the forceps like so, and then I held the other end. And so what that allowed me to do was to pivot them together, and you can draw them close together. So now the motor will go the right way. I'm not even worried about testing it right this second. But now that I've said it out loud, I'm gonna test it. Okay, so as you can hear, it's going the right way now. So, and the braking's still working. So, and then the stabilizer, of course, is working, and all the control surfaces are working just fine. So, real quick, here, you get to see the rudder and the elevator. And you can see the clearance is pretty decent. So really, honestly, FMS made a good plane. I just crashed it. So next step is going to be to get some glue spread onto this. And in order to do that, I'm not sure if I probably want to have everything tucked in, ready to go, essentially, other than that one little area. So I'm going to get that cleaned up, and I'll come right back to you. All right, guys. I've got this dry fit, and it fits great, so it should be pretty easy. I'm going to glue both surfaces, very light, and I figured out how to do this. You hold both wings and you push down on this, and it will allow you to spin it. But I want it in this position because it opens up the joint so I can get things glued together. And I'm just pulling down the tape a little bit to get the servo cable out of the way, so it's one less complication. So, pops in your hand, not in your mouth. We're going to apply it to both sides, spread it out with a Q-tip, and then we're going to stick it together and hold it. Don't have to worry about finish on this, so we'll go ahead and tape it, preferably where it's not going to be covered by the connection joint, and then we'll just quickly assemble it to help hold it in place as well. So that's the next step. I wish I could show you, but you're just gonna have to imagine what it'd be like until I get my film crew back.
Okay.
All right, guys, my film crew came back.
Yeah.
Yes, she's thrilled. Uh-oh, I got a bubble. So, guys, I was just posting the video of the flight where I crashed this thing like a fool, and I was just gonna say the ASW-28 that my buddy just got, it's just like the one I got. Beautiful plane. Almost the same price as this. I don't want you guys to think this plane is bad. It's totally a different plane. They're not even, it's a lot different size class, first of all. And I just wanted to bring that to the forefront here in the conversation for a second. ASW-28, it's a lot bigger plane. It's a lot harder to transport. There's a lot of people that won't be able to have that plane just because it's a pain in the butt to get around. Okay, so I want to take that and let that set. And this nozzle does work nicely to spread, but just don't totally overwhelm the texture. You want that texture there. Now I'm going to show you, when you've got these things separate like this, it works really nice to do it this way. I'm going to dry fit it again, except it's got glue on it now, right? Now watch what happens. See how tight it's holding already? It's crazy how tight it's holding already, but watch. Pull it apart and get the stringies. Now, sorry. You see what I'm doing? Grabbing the excess. And this stuff will be like almost impossible to pull it apart when I stick those back together. But, and this is the big question you gotta ask yourself, this is a main attachment point for your wing. You're gonna be bearing all the structural strength through this for the back half of the wing. When you push on the end of the wing, it's gonna lever to this. If you trust this joint, you're good. If you don't trust this joint, like me, I don't trust this joint, or any joint like this, I take a couple of toothpicks or bamboo skewers if it's a little bit bigger piece. And what I'm gonna do is reluctantly, I'm gonna probably have to put them in after the fact, just because it's gonna be too hard to stick these in and then slide this in, okay? By the way, if you get this glue on a part and you want to try to get it off, obviously you can't use acetone on here. Give them a shot at the top so you can see how tight the joint's coming. What you can use is you can use Kicker. You're probably thinking, what the heck are you talking about, Brian? Kicker, sprayed on this, will take that crap off. It's like that. If that dried on your fingers, you can use Kicker to get it off. Okay, so I'm holding this together, and I'm just kind of looking at the blob of extra glue there, and I really want to try to take that off. Sorry, can you film from this side now? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, I'm just going to try to walk right into this joint, and what happens is that stuff will peel into a roll. See? Pulls right off. So you can get a nice clean separation. And obviously on the underside, we don't care if there's a little bit extra glue. Weight's always a factor. You want to keep that in mind. So now, I now want to brace this component so it can't come undone easily. Obviously, I can pin this a couple of different ways. You don't have to use the pops in your hand, not in your mouth for this step. Sometimes CA works better for this, but I'm going to use pops in the mouth, not in your hand, on this one because it's going to be hidden by the canopy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to force the hole open just like this, understanding that I'm going to not be able to reach it all the way through. I'm going to basically be prepared to break it off. So I'm pushing it to where I can push it to no further. I'm pulling it out. Now watch how I do this. I squeeze this until a little bit comes out the tip, and then I just dive it into the container. Obviously when you get down low, you can't do it that way. You don't want tons and tons and tons because it's just going to come right off when you slide this in. And now we're going to just penetrate. You see how that works, guys? Now watch. Pull it out, stick it in. Pull it out, stick it in. Leave it. Now, take this, run it onto your Q-tip, and it will just pull all that schmutz off of there. Now, you can let this dry if you want. I'm way too impatient for that. So I'll probably go ahead and cut it. Ah! I don't want to get this. Ah, I touched 3 tools now. What the heck? All right, you're getting thrown away. It's your punishment. So side cutters work good for this, to pull that off. Now you'll notice that this piece can't come off now because it's pinned. Now we need to pin it in another axis. That's right, axes, not axis.
Is your
Plural.
English lesson for the day?
I'm making that up. I don't even know if that's right.
I don't know.
Pretend it's right.
Okay.
That's the right way, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what I want to do is I want to pin this, but I don't want to pin it here because if I put flaps in, I don't want to have a pin going through it. So I do want to pin it somewhere close to this, okay? Oh crap, is my tape doing some weird things? No, it's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin it in this general proximity here, and I'm going to pin it into the wing structure this way, okay? And you can dry fit these. I'm hoping I don't stab myself, which is always a possibility. You know, you always, when you're running sharp objects through other objects, it's always possible you could stab yourself. So you need to be prepared for such things. So now, same thing. Now remember, 2 pins is a great starting point. If you can get more than 2, even better. And I'm going to get probably like 4. These things weigh next to nothing. Ooh. That was kind of awkward. Sorry about that. Jeez, it's embarrassing. I'm going to slide this right in there. In. And this time we're going to leave it, because we don't need the dramatic effect on this one. Okay, so you notice that schmutz there. You do have to get this one off of here, because those wings are going to go together, and you don't want to forget. Okay, so just get as much off as you can get off that way, then go to the dry side, or the clean side if you will. And go ahead and peel off the last little bit of this pops in your hand on your mouth. Now that we have it, the majority of it clean, one thing you can do, this doesn't always work, but I'm going to try it on this just because I'd like the extra bite that we'll achieve by doing it. Taking a Phillips, you've got those grooves, and you'll push right at the tip. Very carefully. You see how, oh, yep, that's why you don't want to do that, guys. See, it's just showing you what not to do. Sharp knife. We're going to score it just inside the foam, very carefully. Last time I did this, I cut my finger right there with a brand new X-Acto knife. It was awesome. You guys would have loved it. Now watch. Okay, since I scored it, it sort of maybe broke off a little better than it could have without scoring it. But now watch what I'm going to do. Pushed it, because I have a little bit wider surface area there now. Okay, same thing on this front one. If you want to try to shoot from here, you should be able to see it. Again, if you get glue all over everything, welcome to the club. But if you are really annoyed by that and it doesn't rub off immediately, what you can do is you can use kicker. Let's demonstrate that real quick. Just kicker a couple of times. Sorry, hon. I don't kick girls. See? Clean. And you know what's cool about that? You can use it on your skin too, except that this probably causes cancer and instantaneous death. Oh, probably. Sorry, don't do that. I do it all the time, but look at me, I'm normal. Maybe.
No one will ever buy kicker again.
Kicker. Sounds like something that's not really acceptable in our culture. Kicker. Boy, it doesn't want to score very good. You know why? Because this knife is not super sharp right now. So, option 2. Use somebody else's scissors to cut the tip off. Don't you worry, guys. Dang it. It just keeps walking up my hand. I can't get it off of me. Okay, now clean the tip off if there were somebody else's scissors. See? Nice guy. Now I'm going to take this, bracing my fingers so it doesn't slip. I'm pushing it right into the foam. Okay, so it's beyond the surface. Now we have a pin laterally, lengthwise, and into the wing. I would like to do at least a third, 3 points of contact to completely shore up this. And despite my flaps, and by the way, I've actually fixed wings this way and then later added flaps, and I've been fine. I may have to do that just because this is going to be a weak point. But I'll probably just try to go a little bit steeper. Yeah, that'll work. Because this will keep this joint tight here, guys. Oh, I'm so excited. It might come out the back. And remember, the glue, ironically enough, has a certain amount of
lubrication?
Yes, that's the root word, but lubricity.
No, you're just making stuff up now.
I am not. That is a word. I'm just saying it wrong. So, what I'm trying to do is... Oh, that son of a gun. I didn't quite get the same angle the second time. Okay, so this one, it's puckering the foam because it's so close to the surface, which is super unfortunate, but it's going to end up being critical to hold this tight as things cure. And I can't get it out, so I guess that's as good as it's going to be. We're not going to be able to apply any more glue to that joint. Watch your eyes. Okay, so once we break that off, then we go back at it with the, we stick it with the tool. Hold on now. Oh, that son of a gun. That is nerve-wracking to do and to watch, probably.
Yeah. Except no one can see it.
Oh, that son of a gun penetrated. Look at that. What a pain in the butt. Man, that is super irritating. Oh, whatever. I guess that's what you get for pulling up when you should be pushing down. So, next step. The final stage of reinforcing this wing is going to be a temporary stage because we have white. So we can untape this later. Okay? So my goal is to hold this joint as tight and neat as possible. Okay? Just like that. And what that's going to do is, as this glue puffs out over the next couple of hours, it's going to help to keep it from going everywhere, for one thing. Okay. So remember, from 100 feet, this thing already passes all the tests. But since this is a slope soaring plane, I'll be flying it like right here and looking at it and saying, oh, that's ugly. Ugh. So we're going to want to do better than the 100-foot test. We're going to go for the 5-foot test. And to be honest, I'd probably pass that if we were blind. Okay, so watch how I fix this, guys. I got to get this thing turned to the correct direction now. Not broken per se in this step. I'm rotating and rotating, and you see you can never get it to stay. Well, that's what I was talking about. You see what I'm doing? I'm just keeping the wings. There we go. Look at that. Now they're 90 degrees one each other. Okay, see that? Now I can slide this down and then slide this down. And they made up neatly, just like that. So now would be the time when, because the nature of the repair, I'm probably going to tape it with the understanding that the tape may be a temporary thing. It may be a permanent thing. It, you know, if we don't get back in the wing for 6 months, it's going to be a pseudo-permanent thing. And I'll forget, and then it'll be a permanent thing.
There's probably like 6 minutes before the maximum recording time.
So all of you out there in YouTube world, I don't know if you guys already realize this, but we do all our video recordings on cell phones because we're a high budget, you know,
Yes.
production firm. And we use Galaxy S3 for mod videos. My wife has a Galaxy S7, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the S7 is about 150 times better.
Yes.
At everything. But the S3 is always there and ready to go, regardless of if she's busy. And then I have an S5 that is horrific. I mean, you can be filming an image, like a picture on the wall, and it won't focus on the right thing. It is so dumb, the autofocus. So, obviously in an action-related environment, like remote-controlled airplanes, where there's something always moving, it's a super frustrating process. And then you get into this stuff, filming repairs is the worst. It is horrifically annoying to film.
Yes.
And it's also, when you're alone, it's even harder. So my wife helps me on this stuff, and it is very much appreciated. And I know you guys are all jealous that my wife does all this crap for me. But that's what you get for being such an awesome guy.
What's that?
Alright, so I'm just gonna put these screws in, and so this assembly, it's so weird. It feels just like yesterday when I was doing this.
No, it was 2 days ago.
That's right, 2 days ago. I knew it was one of those days. Feels just like yesterday, though. You know, it's a lot better about today than 2 days ago.
Dinner's ready?
No, well, that part, yeah, but 2 days ago dinner was ready at some point too. What's better about today is it's almost Friday. And what that means is that there's a couple of days where I can just constantly annoy you with RC stuff. Instead of just having a reprieve from that 8 to 5 period where I go and do things for other people and annoy them. Okay, screws inserted. Uh-oh, put it in the wrong way. Crazy. All right, guys, remember, this one here has this strange, like, key to it. So you have to spread it apart, and then it keys right in perfectly. So, remember, spread it apart, stick it in. So, here we go. You'll notice I'm using my cheap Chinese tool. This is a Hanjia. It's one of my favorite brands among the free Chinese screwdrivers that come with A10 tank killers. So actually no, this didn't come with the A10. This came with my Supreme Hobbies Airbus A330-600. Oh, yes, I realize it's not a real plane. It's not a real plane for the 75th time today.
Yeah.
It is a fictitious plane. That means it's not real for those of you that don't understand what fictitious means. So in the description, there may be a complete answer to anybody who asks where to buy it. But
and if it's real.
I still reply every single time. Probably 30 times a week. Yes. And by the way, Airbus A330-600 is in stock at rccastle.com, as well as a 340. You would almost think that I'm selling them for the company, but no, don't let the 8.5 million views fool you. No. They got 15,000 on their video. I have 8.5 million. And they've been sold out for a couple of years now. I don't know if that was partly my fault, or if it was just because it's such an awesome plane, because it really is an awesome plane, but boy, if they just send me that MRRT, I would fly it, you know, and they would probably sell all of those too. But anyway, there was one other guy on YouTube who, he did a video, and he did a pretty decent job. He had the landing gear issues. Well, anyway, wrapping it up, guys, what we're going to do here is we're going to stick the canopy right in here. We're just going to give you a quick view of the canopy on to show you that it fits, I hope. And you'll notice that it doesn't technically fit yet. And I'm going to show you that aspect real quick. How long do you think we got?
A minute, maybe two.
We're going to do this quick, guys. Are we at 30?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll notice that it's not quite sitting down. Okay, I'm trying to show this area here.
Oh.
So that's why I keep doing that. Right here, it's not touched, it's not going. You know why it's not going, guys? Because we never had an opportunity to pull this out because we were waiting for the glue joint to fix itself. So now we just pulled it tight. Okay, so the nose went down a little bit. And that was always kind of a tight squeeze, to be honest. But guys, for literally, it is not 2:45.
No.
It's 11:24. For literally flying this at full speed, slow motion reenactment. I can't believe I just did that. I'm such an idiot. It's only been around for 2 days. Just a few hours ago, this was full speed into the ground. And look at that, guys. I could go fly this. Challenge not accepted. We'll do it tomorrow. You guys will just have to wait. But anyway, I wanted to show you one other thing. As this stuff cures, and when I say cures, I mean there's also moisture that's been displaced somewhat. This tape will almost certainly ruin this finish. I want you to understand, this is what I ended up doing on the top. It actually looks nice. I like that better than having the red back there. I think the red looked hokey. So now you have this nice line. You see that line? Oh, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous. So FMS, if you're watching.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. So anyway, guys, what a really nice plane for having been struck into the ground at full speed just hours ago. And it's ready to go again. It's ready for some more crashing into the ground at full speed.
Great.
After a horrible upside down recovery by me.
Sweet.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.